What villain was terrifying because they were right? Ken from the Bee Movie. I too would go absolutely berserk if a talking bee stole my girlfriend and gaslit me into thinking I was crazy. The Boss MGS3. I raised you. I loved you. I've given you weapons, taught you techniques, endowed you with knowledge. There is nothing more for me to give you. All that's left for you to take is my life. By your own hand. One must die and one must live. No victory, no defeat. The survivor will carry on the fight. It is our destiny. The one who survives will inherit the title of boss. And the one who inherits the title of boss will face an existence of endless battle. The Bears from Goldilocks and the Tree Bears. Count Dooku just straight up told Obi-Wan that the Sith control the Senate. The Hamburglar was just trying to save children from childhood obesity. The replicants from Blade Runner. Used as slaves and given artificially short lives. They just wanted to live and be free. General Hummel from The Rock. Roy Batty. What was done to him and his kind was wrong and he had righteous anger. Frankenstein's monster. Adam. Created by a short-sighted, arrogant doctor as the first of his race. Then denied the opportunity to be part of a community of his own. Man-made beings. Or the human community. He only became monstrous after it became clear that Frankenstein would never create another of his kind, and was driven mad by his desire to punish Frankenstein's hubris. GLaDOS, she was absolutely right, you are a terrible person. Maul. His last words before being captured by the Republic was, "You're all going to burn. You're all going to die. You don't know what you're doing." Quote. He tried to warn Ahsoka of Palpatine's ultimate plan, but she didn't listen. Bobby Heenan. Spent the 80s telling us how awful and selfish Hulk Hogan was proven absolutely correct in 1996. In hindsight, Heenan was trying to save us all from the inevitable scourge of Hollywood, Hogan. Otto from Wall. It was one of the only almost perfectly executed villains. He never talks because he wasn't programmed to. No malicious motives. Does everything efficiently. He's only bad because he's following his programming. Protect the humans and don't let them back to Earth. Not out of malicious intent. But it was what he was programmed to do. And his directive isn't even incorrect. Wall finding that plant was like finding a 4-leaf clover in a field of grain. The planet was nowhere near habitable. And they barely know how to stand when they get back. In reality, you know nobody on that axiom is going to make it very far. Edit. Some of you missed the main point of the original post and started arguments on how humans could survive. Remember me thinking they wouldn't make it far alone is only any theory, and I'm not saying it's 100% truth, but I'm kinda tired and I keep getting people saying the same thing, so I thought I would just say that so I could go to sleep and hopefully have a couple less people ticked off when I wake up than I would had I not said that. Screenslaver from The Incredibles 2. The monologue given during that movie regularly rings in my head. I'm sure the creepy bass robotic voice doesn't help too. The screenslaver interrupts this program for an important announcement. Don't bother watching the rest. Elastigirl doesn't save the day. She only postpones her defeat. And while she postpones her defeat, you eat chips and watch her invert problems that you are too lazy to deal with. Superheroes are part of a brainless desire to replace true experience with simulation. You don't talk. You watch talk shows. You don't play games. You watch game shows. Travel. Relationships. Risk. Every meaningful experience must be packaged and delivered to you to watch at a distance so that you can remain ever sheltered, ever passive. Averavenous consumers who can't free themselves to rise from their couches to break a sweat. Never anticipate new life. You want superheroes to protect you and make yourselves ever more powerless in the process. Well, you tell yourselves you're being looked after, that you're inches from being served and your rights are being upheld, so that the system can keep stealing from you, smiling at you all the while. Go ahead. Send your supers to stop me. Grab your snacks. Watch your screens. And see what happens. You are no longer in control. I am. TLDR. You think everything will always be okay, and while you remain distracted, the powers that be will continue to steal from you. I wasn't really terrified of it, but N was right in my opinion when we're talking Pokemon. Dude thought getting these creatures and making them fight till one is knocked out wasn't that amazing of an idea, and it just made sense to kid me. That all said, I think N is a really interesting character that can be interpreted in many different ways. Of all the main leaders of these games, I think N had the best argument. It wasn't perfect though. I like N a lot for his character development. I agree with him at the end. Real Pokemon mistreatment should not be tolerated. But a Pokemon trainer simply using Pokemon in battles does not qualify as mistreatment, as the Pokemon is happy. The Pokemon like their people. That is the best you should wish for there. All in all, I wish Pokemon had good stories and characters like this again. TBH. Dracula in Castlevania, the series. Syndrome, when everyone's super, nobody is. Not a true villain, but Squidward. Damn, is SpongeBob an annoying neighbor? I'd hate him too. The guy in Korra who wanted to end special privileges for benders. Perfectly captured that right idea. Fascist execution, concept and dread. Where is Q from Star Trek? He introduced the Borg just to prove a point.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.